Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Zeke Moses, for the big finish. As we begin Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So happy to see you. I'm Rabbi Mars.
And I'm Cantor Moses. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
And we're so really very happy that you're here. And, you know, it occurs to me that I'm more than ever feel like I'm in a little box, like a talking head these days. So I'm just going to give you the good news of the week. We're going to start with some good news this week, because good things can come from social isolation, and including the most surprising things of all. And I just want to mention, in particular, as the New York Times reported this past week, Ying Ying and Li Li, the two giant pandas who could never quite get in the mood over 13 years of living together in Hong Kong Zoo, successfully mated on Monday, a rare feat for the famously low libido species and a cause of celebration in the world of animal conservation. I could not resist sharing that good news with you. And the real kicker for this formerly endangered species, I believe it's still on the endangered species list, estimated there are only 1,864 giant pandas remaining in the wild. And the great victory here is really that everybody went away. All the humans vacated the premises so that Ying Ying and Li Li could actually propagate the species. And what I find really so kind of heartening, that you can imagine the hysterical comments that were made about this over on Facebook, etc. But what I really find heartening is that these two animals just needed a little quiet. And the really poignant thing is that something wonderful can happen when we go into a place of quiet. The really sad thing, of course, is that it's against the backdrop of essentially a human exile. So here we are in exile, and we don't like it to be this way. But I cannot help but note that this past week was Earth Day. And the Earth is returning to some semblance of maybe the new normal, maybe the, God willing, in some ways, we hold on to this as the forever normal. Just the fact that wildlife is returning to newly clear waters, and pollution is clearing in skies that had been clogged and polluted before. And you know, there's scary things too, like crude oil has never been so cheap ever. But we want to be mindful in this moment where the spring has sprung all around us. And I feel like I'm appreciating spring more than ever. That we hang in this delicate balance. We really do. And we note that. And looking around this room tonight, as I hope you are now, you notice just the fragility and the wonder, and feel a sense of awe, as I do, that we continue, and that human beings are so great that we can note these things and maybe grow and learn. And that we are so great that we pay the respect to one another to keep a distance from each other. And that we are so great that we also say, no, I am reaching out, and I belong in a community that loves me, that appreciates me, that sees me and hears me, as we try to do here in the Jewish community and at Temple Israel. So I want you to look around the room. I can't see you. It's very unfortunate, but I know you're there. Give each other a little bow or a little hey, Shabbat Shalom. You should all be waving to each other and saying, oh, this social isolation, we never knew it would bring us here. But beautiful things are springing up. And at the same time, we hold each other in sadness. We hold each other in sorrow, as the earth's creatures are grieving, and we acknowledge that. But we need the light We need the light. Each of you is a candle. Each of you is a flame burning in this world, and we see you and we want to bring you in. So as we light our Shabbat candles now, I hope that you'll join us in lighting your own Shabbat candles if you've got them. And then we'll join with our cantor to sing our way into Shabbat through this candle blessing. And we sing together.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Will you please sing with us from wherever you are? Make it so that we can hear you this Shabbat. We sing the Hadodi together.
Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavena. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavena. La 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 lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavena. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavena. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, L'shem u'tiferet b'niti la 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 chadoti, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavena. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavena. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha, ki imkor ha'beracha, merosh mikadem nesucha, sof hazeh b'machshavati la 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 chadoti, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavena. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavena. Hit'oreri, ki ba'arach kumi ori, uri, shir daveri, kavod Adonai alayich, la 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 chadoti, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavena.
Please stand up wherever you are. Welcome Shabbat.
V'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'b'tzola, toch emunei am segula, boi chala. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavena. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavena. La 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 lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavena. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavena.
You stay standing for Baruch. Taking a seat, let's read these words at the bottom of the page to acknowledge the blessing and gift of learning and Torah. Day and night we will reflect on them, the mitzvot, for they are our life and the length of our days. Then your love, God, shall never depart from our hearts. Praised are you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadivarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'divarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'v'lektecha b'derech u'shoklecha u'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha ve'hayu letotafot b'neinecha וכתבתם המזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet.
Let's read this prelude to Michamocha together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. This week I heard a story about a doctor who decided that since he was clad in all of the PPE and the protective gear, that he couldn't really make eye contact with his patients the way that he wanted. So he decided to make a picture of himself, a new name badge for himself, smiling and greeting people. And that was his tent that he threw over his patients. And that's the kind of humanity that is so needed. And we ask God, let us be your partner in helping heal. Let us be your partner in helping shield each other from the pain that is so pervasive. And we engage in that communal prayer together through Hashkivenu.
Save us, spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom. Now save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom. V'hamidenu shoreinu V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם במידותיו.
So I don't know how you're answering the question, how are you these days? Doesn't it just feel so much different? So different to answer this question. I turn to a little piece of Torah before we go into our Amidah. Just want to maybe help us situate ourselves before we go into our prayer, because essentially the Amidah says, how are you? No? How you doing? Are you going to check in, or are you just going to like be here? Or are you really going to show up in this moment because this is a gift? So that's what this moment avails to us. How are you? No? How'd you do this week? How are you sitting? How are you standing? How are you holding on What do you need? What can you give? The psalm says, Ba'erev yalin bechi v'laboker rina. In the evening, one lies down weeping, but with dawn, a cry of joy. And I think of that this week. This week, especially as we find ourselves situated between Yom HaShoah, Holocaust Remembrance Day, and Yom HaZikaron, the Israeli Memorial Day for the fallen soldiers of Israel, and which goes right into Yom HaAtzmaut, the day of celebration for Israel, becoming Israel, the state, Medinat Yisrael. But we're really holding so much in that one statement. It makes us a proclamation in the Psalms. In the evening, one lies down weeping, but with dawn, a cry of joy. It's so presumptuous, this Psalm. How do you know? Sometimes I lay down crying, and sometimes I wake up crying. So I think it's like aspirational. And some days are so good, you know what? I probably go to sleep happy and I wake up happy, but I don't really notice it. So the psalmist is saying, the poet says, but notice, you know, don't let this really pass you by. There's a Yiddish saying, and it makes sense that it's a Yiddish saying because you'll hear what the translation is in a second. Jeder Morgen bringt sich Sorgen. Every day brings forth its own sorrows. That feels so Yiddish to me. That like a Jewish expression is like every day is going to be full of pain. There's going to be some sorrow somewhere lurking. It's always there. And you know, these dark threads weave themselves into our lives. It's part of the fabric of our lives. We know that to eradicate sadness from life, even if it was possible, would not necessarily be an act of wisdom. It may be an act of folly because it would mean losing part of our spiritual journeys. And you might say to me, terrific, you know what? I'm okay without that spiritual journey. I don't want to grow that much. I don't want to learn that much through sadness. That is not my way. I'd rather be happy. It's not such a huge request. I'd rather not have as rich a spiritual journey. I'd rather just skip the sorrow. But we know deep down that, as Rabbi Israel Salanter taught us, anyone who finds calmness and tranquility, even in the service of God, is remote from that true service. In other words, this whole enterprise was not intended to be simple or fair or even just. And Jews know as well as anyone. Remember Egypt and the Crusades and the pogroms and the Shoah, the Holocaust. That human ugliness, that breeds sadness. We've seen it in our history. Sadness has been born out of our own interaction with humankind. And we even saw that human ugliness at our State House this past week, when Jews were somehow equated with this illness, the most preposterous thing created, but not something that we haven't seen before. It's just the newest version of this pernicious disease, which is called hatred. And we've seen that natural ugliness through this pandemic as well. Sadness arises, real despair, real honest to goodness despair in the depths. And it's not to say that, you know, that sadness is not something that we can't actually interact with. Our tradition would teach us, no, sadness is good to a certain degree, and you have to be there with it. But sorrow can teach us something about being human, which I want us to just emphasize tonight. If you think about the laws of Jewish mourning, that we're commanded, among other things, there's a lot of Jewish laws around Jewish mourning, but we're commanded not to even say one word of comfort to the mourner. Because how can we ever say anything comforting to somebody who has lost love in the form of a human being? How can we engage in distracting activities. We're commanded, don't engage in distracting activities when you're in mourning. Don't watch TV. Don't, drop a shopping list. I mean, this will distract you from the important work that you have to do as a mourner. So either as a person who's visiting a mourner or as a mourner, him or herself, the idea is that we should not deprive ourselves or others of the experience of sorrow. It seems like such a strange gift to let somebody be sad. But that's where we are. How are you? Are you really asking me that? Because I'll tell you, it's sad, like existentially sad. People are losing their jobs. People are losing their way of life. People are losing their lives. People are losing people who are precious to them. How can I be in any way finding the silver lining in this? But our tradition steers us back and says there is a middle path. Grief has a role in our lives, and we have to heal through that grief. We can't deny the existence of sadness because it will prevent us from being whole. To acknowledge the broken helps us become whole. And I don't mean to romanticize sadness or say that we're supposed to seek it out, but let's remember this particular Shabbat between Yom HaShoah and Yom HaZikaron, that our job is to remember that an educated heart is one which has been engulfed in despair and has indulged in sorrow for the sake of understanding. So the Talmud teaches, as we go into our Amidah prayer, when the temple was destroyed and all the gates of heaven were closed, that tremendously painful moment when the temple was destroyed, and all the gates of heaven, say the Talmud, were closed, except for one gate that remained open, and that was Sha'ar HaBechi, the gate of tears, which always stands open, waiting for us to walk through, to be brave to encounter that brokenheartedness. And that broken heart is the perfect vessel for our prayer and our healing. So we walk through that gate together. Erev Yalin Bechi Vela Boker Rina, knowing in our heart of hearts that in the evening we will lie down weeping. But if we do that work of touching the sorrow, we can wake up, Berina, with tears of joy. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may that be so. We stand in our places as we're able, and we go into our Amidah prayer right now.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Velohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Velohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Velohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומתעמך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Answering, how are we in this moment of our quiet reflection?
Friends, this Shabbat, we also recognize the new month, Rosh Chodesh. Today and tomorrow begins the new month of Iyar. And in our Amidah prayers, we add a special prayer for healing and hope in the new month. And I share this with you, O God and God of our fathers and mothers, on this Rosh Chodesh. Be mindful of us and all your people, Israel, for good, for love, for compassion, for life, and for peace. So the rabbi and I chose to bring in this song, Leonard Cohen's beautiful Hallelujah, to share what we are grateful for. Hallel is praise, the beautiful psalms that we add on Rosh Chodesh, and Yah, of course, another name for God. So I invite you to sing this beautiful song with us and think about the one thing that we're grateful for and that, please God, will only increase in this new month of Please God blessing. Now I've heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do you? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the battle king, composing hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Say I took the name in vain, I don't even know the name. But if I did, well, really, what's it to you? There's a blaze of light in every word. It doesn't matter which you heard, the holy or the broken. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Who are you thinking of who is sick? We have a list of people here, but I invite you to use the chat box if you'd like to list the names of anybody for whom you're wishing healing or protection. You can also include those names of people who are working on the front lines, our doctors, our grocery workers, folks in civil service and government. Please, God, protect them. And those who are sick, we also mention them as we sing Misha Berach. Shraga ben Alexander, Yentefega bat Rachel, Eliyahu ben Sarah, Harav Reuven Shlomo ben Mendel Valeah, Naomi bat Miriam v'Harav Yosef, Gittel bat Yehuda v'Chaya, Norma Agranoff, Lisa Brody, Jacob Brody, Audrey Connolly, Jim Connolly, Pat Caudle, Lee Kunkel, Lily Kovitz, Michael Goshenauer, Jerry Gutterman, Ethan Kadish, Ruth Kahn, Delma Killinger, Mark Kotler, Fran Kreiselman, Linda Mendel, Mary Alice Menard, Anthony Panitt, Clark Patton, Helene Paselnik, Fred Summer, Florence Taylor, Lee Tenenbaum, Annette Turner, Barry Turner, Sandy Tizer, Kay Watkins, Walter Watkins, Fran Ziegler, Stan Ziegler. Blessings to all, including for the caregivers. Read with me. For all who are faithfully taking care of the community's needs, may God reward them, protect them from, and remove from them all sickness, and heal them completely. May God send them blessings and success in all they do, together with all of humanity. And let us say together, Amen. We say a prayer for our country, the bottom paragraph. O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife. May our country be sound in body and spirit. Amen.
Amen.
This week is Yom HaAtzmaut. We are grateful for the ongoing miracle and work that is Medinat Yisrael. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love, spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen.
Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Sur Yisrael veGoalo. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Sur Yisrael veGoalo.
Please stand as you're able for Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. Tonight, very, very conscious of people who have had recent losses. Our hearts go out to them. Maybe your pain is a little more distant, but it never quite goes away. Thinking of those people who died at this time in years past. Maybe it happened more recently, still within this last year. So we want to acknowledge tonight the grandparents, the recent passing of grandparents of Joshua Levitt. And we are thinking of you, Josh and Vanusha in New York. And we are holding you as the loss of both of your grandparents happened this week, Sandy and Judy Shupak. We are with you. In the period of Shiva, the 7 days, we are remembering Barbara Render. In the period of the Shloshim, the 30 days, we are remembering Charlotte Rose Klein, Arlene Schreibman, Rabbi Robert Rothman. If you are within the 11-month period after having lost someone you love, will you please stand so that we can acknowledge your loss? And if you'll please listen, friends, to the names of your loved ones, if it is the yahrzeit, they will be on this list. And you'll stand as your loved one's name is read. Itzka Agronoff, Doris Altman, Louis G. Bernstein, Harold Birnbaum, Essie Blyman, Mildred Bondi, Cynthia Brumbaugh, Rosa Dembo, Sydney Lionel Fedotin, Hattie Weinfeld Freidenberg, Eva Froelich, Alvin Gordon, Lois Jipp, Albert A. Carmia, Eli Cohane, Jeanette Colton, Amy W. Lazarus, Morton P. Love, Dorothy Lovett. We're remembering Jacob F. Luft, Charles F. Luft, Ann Michelson, Daniel Minner, Esther Mosenter, Harold Packer, Sadie Reich, Shirley T. Robbins, Louis Robbins, Maxwell S. Ross, Frida Seaman, Don Schwartz, Patricia S. Siegel, Sylvia Seltzer, Aurelia Stern, Shirley Stern, James Strassels, Claire Thal, Ruth Wilk, and Saul Walensky. And if you have an additional name, please say it now. We are with you as we turn to the words of Kaddish Yatom and remember them, saying, Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'olma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, V'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevorach leolam u'lomei maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei d'kudsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran be'olma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'romav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May the source of peace bring peace to all who mourn, comfort to all who are grieving. Zichronan livracha, may their memories continue to bless and continue to inspire and lift you up always. And we say, Amen. You can please take a seat, holding all the sorrow and all the joy that is Shabbat. We turn to our Kiddush and sing with the cantor.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'avav ratzon hinchilanu zikaron ma'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim. Everyone. Ki banu v'charta ve'otanu kiddashta mikol ha'amim ve'shabbat kodecha ve'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat.
Chaim.
L'chaim, l'chaim tovim.
We were saying that we have, for anybody who's watching, at 5 o'clock every week, we have something called Shabbat in Spirit. But it was the brilliant idea of one of our staff to have not only Shabbat in Spirit, where we get together and we reflect on the week together. It's a really lovely gathering of anybody who wants to just come and share some gratitude. But this brilliant staff person, okay, I'll give you credit, Zach Luper-Friedman, said maybe we should make it Shabbat in Spirit with spirits. So, it's an idea out there. And if you feel like you want to come next week, please do. And bring a little spirit with you, whatever you take that to mean. We're going to make motzi.
All right, friends, as we've been doing every week, our hand washing ritual blessing. I hope we're still washing 20 seconds, right? And Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al netilat yadayim. And then we share this beautiful challah. The Crowfoot Suede family from the Bat Mitzvah last week still had their challah. Look how amazing that is. So kudos to that family.
I can't believe you still have it. The Mars family took it over in like 5 seconds. So.
I know. I froze it for the week so we could enjoy it on Shabbos and I could share it with all of you. So yeah, you should have seen me trying to get the hands off of this before tonight. But we bless you all as I hope one day soon, God willing, we'll be breaking this together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen.
Amen.
Join us tomorrow morning, friends, 10 o'clock and it's going to be a Zoom Jewish meditation. I hope you'll join us for that. We also on Sunday, this coming Sunday, we have an opportunity, instead of Tikkun Palooza, which we couldn't do in person, we're doing something called a Day of Kindness. So the tree of kindness is going to be built out of your mitzvot, and you're welcome to join us by Zoom at 11 o'clock. it will be an opportunity to get creative with the mitzvot that you do for the day, including 2 that have been brought to our attention by our good friends at JFS. So we want you to look on our webpage to find all the opportunities there, but in particular, we need people to make masks, protective masks for Jewish Family Services staff and clients, as well as write some letters of encouragement to folks who are single parents, or maybe they're elderly, or maybe you're just alone, isolated, lonely. We want to make sure that we are reaching out in the creative ways that we can at this time safely. So please take part in that. One final thing I want to mention tonight is that we have the wonderful, beautiful offer from congregants Artie Isaac and Beth Weinstock. This coming Sunday night at 7 o'clock, join Beth Weinstock, Amy Greenberg, and Artie Isaac for a poetry circle. Come hear these 3 poets read poems to each other. It's a great experience. Some of these poems are finished and ready. Some will still be in the works. Listen as the poets applaud and critique each other's work, which, if you know Artie Isaac and Kanahara, Beth Weinstock is wonderful too. I don't know Amy Greenberg, at least I think the one I'm thinking of. I don't know if I know her, but we are so lucky that they're going to be giving us some of their beautiful poetry. So please look on our website for that too. And all of the offerings throughout this coming week. We have a tremendous staff and leadership, and I'm just so grateful for all of their hard work, constant. And wishing you, friends, Shabbat Shalom. Stay safe, stay home, be healthy, and much love. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. I just want to say Shabbat Shalom, Palm Desert, Shabbat Shalom, Germany, Shabbat Shalom, all throughout Columbus, Shabbat Shalom, New York. Much love to everybody. Stay safe, stay well.
Shabbat Shalom.